Hi everybody, Peter from CompuTrack Boston. I just wanted to update you on the last set of forks that we were working on, the FJR. The ones where we felt the spring was in the wrong place, the preload tube was in the wrong position. And it was. We got everything cleaned up, all the oil off of it, so now you can actually see what is wrong. This is how the cartridge should be assembled. Once it's in the fork and you're ready to, you've set your oil level and you're ready for the final assembly on this fork, the spring goes on first. Then there is a washer that sits on top of it. What's difficult to see is there's a small tube on this particular model that goes over the damper rod, and then there's the lock nut and the cap. And you'll see that as soon as we press on the cartridge, we're in contact with the spring. Here's what we have. Like this, except that the order of assembly went preload tube, spring, washer, cap, and no preload on the spring. Have a look at these two. You see the normal cartridge on your right, the one that was assembled incorrectly on the left. And if you look carefully in here, I put some blue painter's tape on the preload tube. Bring it up and show it to you here so you can see it. That blue preload, the tape is on the preload tube, and that is supposed to be up here where the other one is, and that's why there's no preload. So the gentleman was riding this motorcycle right down on top of just the air spring and the hydraulic bottom out cone, and to much surprise, no matter what adjustments he made to the clickers and the settings, nothing seemed to make any difference. What's sort of disappointing and fascinating at the same time is that the bike was riding all the way at the bottom of the stroke, and he never once said anything about riding around bottomed out. It was just harsh. He didn't notice that the geometry was sort of like a cat in heat versus the touring chopper that is the FJR. So again, this is why send your stuff to a professional, someone who's got a good reputation, someone who's done this before. At last count, I'm somewhere between 10 and 12,000 fork and shock rebuilds. So things like this, it happens. We've seen it. I've done it when I was learning too. But this is why you always want to make sure to follow the manual and bring your stuff to a professional. Thanks.